Welcome, Mr. EBM.
Thank you so much, Betty. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm so glad to have you back here.
Thank you. This is my another home for your YouTube.
And thank you for I always give you a short notice and boom, you're there.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, so we have some people maybe who don't know you. You can kindly introduce yourself just a little bit and...
Yes, okay, so my name is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, and I go with the abbreviation of EBM, and I use EBMSCHOLARS for my YouTube channel. I'm originally from Tanzania, but currently for 13 years I've been in the US. Now I live in the state of Missouri. Obviously, in the US you have to work just like in other countries. So I have a job, a full-time job, working in another organization. But on my spare time or out of work, I do other things which they introduce me as EBMSCHOLARS. And I give some information about education. If you're looking for opportunities to study US, Canada, Europe, through scholarships mostly, how to go to those countries, how to start life in those countries, how you can be able to succeed in one way or another, but also for people who want to write books, how we can challenge one another, and the easier way to write and self-publish them, put your books on Amazon and those of those nature. So I can simply say I'm just education based YouTuber, I can simply say, but also I do a lot of immigration.
Okay, so and you are obviously, you have a YouTube channel, and
yes.
If you guys don't know, you haven't checked EBM out, go check his channel. And one thing I want to say is I'm so sorry, EBM, about what's going on with your channel. I don't know, the devil is trying to attack your channel, but he's a liar. He is a liar and he's defeated. Yes, because that is you work so hard for your channel, EBM. You're one of the people I know, you really try so hard, and now to have somebody do this to you, it's not fair. But you know what? Don't give up, my brother. Just keep keep doing what you're doing.
I take it this is just was a mandatory time off. Just I need to take a time off because the month of October alone, I made over 125 videos posted on my English channel. And so I need to take a time off. And then when I come back with another energy, I hope
we have the viewers here who are your fans, and maybe you can tell them how long you're going to be offline.
Yes.
I mean, off YouTube.
Yes. Basically, I will be out of YouTube for 1 week. The reason being, at one time, like beginning of the green card lottery, I got the warning. Someone reported in my channel that one of my video was not appropriate, which was how to fill the form. Someone said that is cyberbullying, and YouTube accepted it, and they gave me the warning. They took out the video. I reposted the video, is still there now, but the same video. Then today in the morning, I posted 3 videos, and I was about to post another, like other videos. I got the ban, you cannot post, and there was a video that they say is against the community guidelines because it's promoting violence, but the video is about how you can be able to succeed. Is interview with one wonderful woman in Tanzania. So I will not be able to post any video or to do any live stream for 1 week. So I hope it will be until Sunday next week. That's what my hope is.
Wow. Oh wow, we'll miss you indeed. But when you come back, make sure you come back with the bang.
Yeah, it will come out one day, like 25, 30 videos in one day. So just like I'll never, so I'll come with just like I'm back, like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You're back.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good to remain positive. I like that, and I can see MGM Media is watching. Do you know MGM Media?
Yeah.
Oh, you know him. And Derek Mita, hi guys. So anyway, ABM, let me ask you, what were you what job were you doing back in Tanzania? Were you a teacher? Were you a lecturer?
Before coming to US?
Yeah.
So I was a university student. The day I finished I was doing my final exam at the university. I have the ticket to come to America. So for me, teaching, it is part like inside myself because I grew up in the family of 13. So we have been teaching what we call tuition, like after school program. People come there, they pay you teach them. So my brothers, my sister have been doing that for years. So myself was growing up, I've been teaching, but not as a teacher by profession. So when I went to the university, I was teaching political science. So in Tanzania, when you finish high school before going to the university, back in the time, used to be 1 year you stay at home. So that 1 year I was also teaching at the high school. So like a full-time teacher. So I've been doing that way, but not with the credentials of being a teacher. But while I was at the university, then I applied for scholarship to come to America to teach Swahili. That's where I came here. So for me, after university, I didn't work in Tanzania because I finished end of May, and August 15th, I traveled to come to US.
Also, your scholarship was to come here and teach Swahili?
Yeah, I taught Swahili and African culture for 1 year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And when did you join the Navy?
I joined the Navy in the year 2012 in August 2nd. That is when I started. Yeah, 2012.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So did you, is it something that you had to do because you were forced to do it, or was it something that you, maybe somebody said, put a gun on your head and was like, ABM, you need to join?
Number one is, for me, joining the military, like coming from Tanzania, is something people who didn't get good education who are going to the military. That's what your assumption is. Majority of them, not all, but majority of them, those who are not officers. So for me, I come here with a bachelor degree. I got a full scholarship for masters. I did my masters. So life is perfect. So I cannot think about it. That was out of my mind in my entire life. But couple of things started happening. After getting married, then you have a child, you are starting thinking about it. One day I have to buy a house. One day I have to do this one. So when you started thinking about those, then you come to reality. You needed to have down payment. You need to have this one. You need to have this one. So how many years will you be able to do all those kind of things in order to have the money and everything to be able to do that? While I'm still thinking, I didn't know that. And one day, after, it was just like I applied so many jobs. Like when I say so many jobs, do you know that Yahoo is account, I don't know, there is a maximum number of emails you can send per day. I didn't know that. I was being sending like more than 500 emails per day for jobs. And it reached a point, they say, you have reached the maximum limit. It looks like you're a scam now. So you are supposed to wait maybe for 2 or 3 hours. So that's why I have so many emails. I was sending so many applications, and you don't get it because it was the peak of the financial crisis at that time. So because of the difficulties, while I was searching more information,
were you looking for a specific job, or
no, any professional job? At the same time, obviously, at that time I've already have master's degree, and you have difficult times. So the life is difficult. So my father-in-law and my mother-in-law said, "Can you come to stay with us?" And as African man, that is embarrassing. But the reality is, are you going to be homeless? And that's California, like in California. So I had to take the offer of going to stay with my in-laws. So yes, you are going to do these jobs in warehouse, you do this $10, $12 per hour, $15. But life in California is very expensive. You have a wife, you have a child, my wife who is pregnant. Then he's going to have a baby with my in-laws' house, which is a tiny house still. So all those complications we're looking for, applying for so many jobs. One day while I was searching, and I was looking like, it came like another option as a military as option. So I started watching more videos about the military. So okay, this is a good option. So after looking everything, the biggest point for me was this is a job. If I go there right away, I start getting paid as a full-time salary. That's number one. I want a job right now. But the biggest one, I'll buy the house. For me, I don't care about car. I don't care about anything. I prefer to have a nice home. Yeah. So that is my dream of my life, is to have a nice home. I will get a house, yes. Yes, they will give you money for education. I have masters. I don't care much about education. I've already have that one. So one day we are going with my wife to the mall. You remember, in the US, most of these recruiting agencies, the military, they're nearby the malls. So I told my wife, I'm thinking I want to join the military. Say, are you okay? So after I explained to her, then I went to talk to the guy in the recruiting center. Obviously, I'm going to the Navy because there are age limitation for each category. For me, at that time, I was 29. So, I mean, I was almost 30 around. I think I was 30. So, obviously, I'm out of other options. So, at that time, I was with the Army and the Navy. Air Force at that time, they used to have 29, Marines 29, and I will not go into Marine. So I'm looking for easier. For me, I'm going there not to save to save the country, but to save myself. So the guy was a black guy, very nice professional guy, who is a petty officer. So he said, "Are you serious? You want to join?" Remember, at that time, I had hair more than Jackson 5, like big afro. At that time. I was over 245 pounds.
Ah, wow.
So the guy looked at me, "You have master's degree. And do you know you will need to lose at least 50 pounds to join the military? Have you ever been to the gym? Do you notice calories?" I said, "No." I said, "I don't." The guy told me, like, "I don't see any motivation. What will force you to lose all this weight to join?"
Wow.
Because you have masters, you can get other job.
Yes.
So for me, I ask you one question. Do you guarantee me if I lose the 50 pounds,
I'll join?
I will join. I say, I guarantee you. But trust me, I've never seen any person since I've been in the military lost 50 pounds just to join the military. I say, those people are not to me. I say, give me 75 days. I tell you, give me 90 days. I will come back here. I lost the weight you want. I say, okay. From there.
So there's a specific weight. You cannot be over 200 pounds?
No. Depending, for me, I was overweight. Depending on your height, there is height-weight ratio. So if you have this height, you have this weight. The taller you are, you have more room for the weight. So for me, I'm not that tall. I'm 5'6". So that is not tall. So obviously you need to be less weight.
Yeah.
So for that particular case, so I started the training. For me, joining the military, that decision changed my entire perspective in my entire life. So when I say I'm going to make 10 videos per day, every single day, that is easy because I did something bigger than anything. So I started waking up at 5:30 every single day every single day. I go to work out for 2 straight hours. I come home. I started following every single thing of cooking. So everything I started to cook everything on my own. And then in the afternoon, I walk for an hour. And then in the evening, I go 2 hours to exercise again. So I was working out 5 hours a day from Monday to Saturday. And Sunday is my day off. By day off, I go to church. My family, my wife will go with the car, but I go by walking and they come by walking. So that was just like the day off. I walk about 5 miles. That is my day off. So at that point, I was losing weight at least 1 pound a day.
Wow.
And it reached a point I was able to run 5 kilometers in 16 minutes. Which that is the Olympic record. I didn't know if it's the Olympic record until after being in the military. We did it running, and I beat even some of the Navy SEALs. Look, this is very high speed. Like, for me, I took it as normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And it's something you had not done before, like you were not running before.
I mean, not really. Let me show. I want to show you some of just like a picture after losing weight while I was in the military, so that you can see what do we mean by this situation. Remember, I was 245 pounds. Then after losing weight, this is while I was in the military.
Oh wow!
That were deployment in Japan. Like it was next level. I mean, I will never go back to this body. Like I was like, for me, just from now, I'm tired. Let me wear shoes and run 10 miles away. It's just a normal thing.
Wow.
So it helped me on so many levels when I did this one. Yes, it was joining the military, but from that moment, for me, my mentality. Yeah, my mentality has changed now. I can do anything. From that moment, I see what benefits I get in the military at that moment. Now I know, like, I mean, obviously I knew how to cook before coming to America. I've been cooking, but I want to study professional. So for me, like, even at home, 95 to 98% of who is cooking at home is me.
Oh.
And I don't trust many people to cook my food.
Healthy food, yeah.
So, and obviously, in a year, maybe the food to put oil, maybe once, maybe. But I don't use cooking oil. And the food looks so good. What do you mean? Yeah.
What do you use? Just boil?
No, there is a different ways of making food, but still, it is going to be delicious. So, number one, I can use oven. I can do barbecue, nyama choma. I can go and make it with kachumbari. I can go and just cook, just even like, not like you can cook instead of putting oil. I can just go and put, I can just put a little bit of water. So there are so many ways of cooking without just using any cooking oil.
Okay.
So, which is a very normal thing in a normal life here now. So yeah, so there are so many things I've been able to change as positive out of that.
So out of you wanting to join the Navy, you really you discovered something else in you.
Yes.
That you have other. Yeah, that is so good. And when you went back, the guy was like,
oh, the guy didn't.
How much had you lost?
I lost 65 pounds in 75 days.
Boom! Wow, that is good.
65 pounds in 75 days. Like, it was like, you cannot believe it. Like, the guy didn't just say, you are the first person to do something like that. And from that moment, the guy says, any person coming from Africa, he's giving seriously attention because they know these people are serious.
They are, yes. By the way, most of the time, Africans, we come here, we don't joke around with the opportunities that are here, and that's what I've seen with a lot of people. We don't play around. Yeah.
So finally, I was able to join the U.S. Navy. So let me go back. What are the requirements to join? Okay. So basically, you need to have high school education as a minimum requirement. For those who don't have high school, you can have GED. Okay. And then you must be at least a green card holder. So don't ask the question, can I join while I'm in Kenya? Can I join while I'm in Tanzania? No. You must be a green card holder to join. There was one program, it's called MAVNI program.
Not just the work authorization. And what about if you are a student? Also, you can.
You must have a green card. The actual card, permanent resident. Okay. There was one program, it's called the MAVNI program. That program, usually they bring it back, then they close. They bring it back, then they close. The last time that program was in 2016, Obama, before left, closed that program. Trump asking before, in December, asking the DOD to review, to bring it back. That program allows any person in the U.S. Who has been here for 2 years without any crime to join the military, to join the army, and direct you become a U.S. citizen. You jump from even visiting, you jump from student, direct you become a U.S. citizen. And so that's what you have to be in a medical field or speak certain languages, and one among the languages was Swahili language. So there are so many Tanzanians and Kenyans. But a lot are Kenyans who have studied that, so many people in East Africa who have joined from international student direct to become a U.S. citizen through the MAVNI program. So that one we might not see right now, probably until after Biden's administration, because usually how we see is Republicans are more into having more military. So that's why Trump even in December last year said we have to bring back that program. But now is stopped, it's not there, so we are waiting to see if it will be brought back. But at the moment, you must be a green card holder or a U.S. citizen to join. And even if you have PhD, You are not a citizen, you cannot join as officer, because you join as officer or enlisted. Enlisted is someone who is not officer. So you choose between the two, but in order to become officer, you must have a degree and a US citizen. So for me, despite of having master's degree, and then, but I was not a US citizen, I was a green card holder, I had to join as enlisted. And if you join, even if it's enlisted, within 6 to 8 weeks, depending on the branch, in the Navy within 6 weeks, you take an oath as a US citizen.
Oh, wow.
You are given citizenship while you're in the boot camp. And you don't pay even a single dollar. There is no paperwork I did. What I did was to take the civics test on the 3rd week, the 6th week, I took the oath, they gave me the certificate, I'm a US citizen. I didn't fill any paperwork, I didn't do anything, I'm a US citizen. So that is another big advantage.
It doesn't matter how long you have been in the country. As soon as you join, then they'll give you that. Okay.
Yeah, so for instance, the guy from Ghana who just arrived 2 weeks ago and he has already signed for the Navy, the day he's joined there, within 6 weeks, he will be a US citizen. So he can sponsor his parents right away.
Wow. It's you're serving the country. You know, Americans, they really, really honor the people who are
very patriotic country.
Yes.
Yeah, so those that's when you join. So once you join, from day one, you are employee. You are a federal government employee. You are in the Navy, so you are getting paid full salary from day one. You are arriving.
Okay.
Someone might ask, how much is average you are going to get paid while you are in the, let's say, because you're talking as enlisted. So let's say if you come here, you already have maybe some 1-2 courses of college. So enlisted, you start from E1 to E9. So if you have some courses in college, you start as E3. So E3 is about $2,000 US.
Okay.
But if you go to E2, E1 is 1,500 to 2,000, around that. But someone will say, but that's a small amount of money. So let me give you a breakdown. So for me, I started as E3. I get about $2,000 US per month. If you have a family, like a spouse or children.
So is this is minus tax or not? No.
So the salary, they will tax you.
Okay.
So you get 2,000. Then with the 2,000, then for me, because I had a wife, for California, I was given almost 800 in the 95,000. I mean 1,800, whatever, something like that, for housing. So I was paid. Okay. Technically, I have free housing, kind of that. If you are single and you want to E4, you live into the barracks. But for Navy, you get apartment like a condo. You'll be living there. So you have a place to stay. So accommodation is covered. So still you have 2,000, accommodation is covered. You get
that's even good.
Apart from that, you have $300 for food.
Wow.
You see, that is another amount is coming there. Then you have the best medical coverage you'll ever have.
Yes.
Because you are government property. So they have to protect you. And at that time, now that there are some changes, at that time, if you speak a foreign language, for each language you get tested, you get 500. So I was getting $500 more for knowing Swahili language. That is extra. And then each year, so depending, you get about 1,000, 2,000, whatever for uniforms. But those uniforms you don't change each year. So that is extra you get. So if you divide how in a year, you are going to get at least maybe 100 or 200 extra for the uniform, basically. But you don't buy those uniforms because we have different types of uniforms in the military. So for instance, there are uniforms you wear every single day. There are uniforms you will not wear even once in a year. So you don't need to buy all the uniforms. So you might just going to get 1 or 2 uniform, kind of that, so you can get extra on that particular sense. So if you come to go and calculate, and when they're talking about the money for housing, money for food, money for, those are allowances, they are not taxing. There is no tax on those. Those
are plenty and good allowances,
Yeah. So if you calculate, the amount you got to get in total is almost like the amount I get currently right now is my salary. But the amount I pay tax is small. So the tax is just on 2,000. The rest is not taxed. I get the rest of this one. So those are some of overall kind of the benefits while you are there.
Okay.
And then whether you are inside or you get out, you have the opportunity to go to school. The benefits is called education benefits. So that education benefits, for me, I advise people to use that one when they get out. There are some you can study like one course while you are in the military for free, but don't use your GI bill, which you call the GI bill. If you use that one, usually they have to pay for your school and to pay for housing. But because you are already given the housing, they're not going to give you another housing.
Yeah.
So if you get out, you are already out. For instance, right now, if I said I go for school for the Missouri, Kansas area, they'll give you $1,500 on your pocket every month for going to go to get an apartment while you are studying. So it is better to do that one after, because you get extra about $2,000 or $1,500 just for education. That is in your pocket, apart from the tuition and the fees already paid to the school. So you get another advantage. Then you can buy a house. Myself, the house I live here, this house where I live here, which is a very nice one, I paid $1,000 for the inspection. There is what is called the VA home loan. So the VA home loan is the loan which they are giving you. That means you don't need to pay any amount, so that they can be able to. The government is the one which is going to guarantee you to be given the loan. So for me, I didn't pay any single amount of any single dollar, because in the end, the government is the one which is guarantee my house, and this is the house.
Okay.
I didn't pay any amount.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So I paid $1,000 only to own the house I'm living now.
Wow.
And
so those are the advantages of joining the military.
Apart from that, the biggest is coming after that. When you apply any job right now, it asks you a question: are you a U.S. veteran? There is a question, that one.
Yes,
Why? Because the priority for given jobs is for people who are veteran. For any company, and any company which has veteran, they get proud, like we are hiring veterans, very friendly.
Wow.
Because the country is patriotic. But the biggest is this one. If you apply.
Sorry, I have to ask you something. Somebody said going to the military of time, they don't make much and stuff like that. But people forget about all these added advantages, right? Because
my salary currently right now as director for another organization is about $5,000-6,000 per month, about $6,000 per year. In the military, yes, my salary is $2,000, but if I include it for the housing, if I include it for language, for food and everything, I was getting more than $5,000.
Yeah.
You see, plus everywhere I go, I get discount because I'm in the military. And another thing I wanted to add on that is, if you apply a federal job, if you have applied for any federal job, you get you are going to be number one priority. If a job says, we want a minimum bachelor degree to get a job to become an accountant, and there are 10 people, 8 of them, they have PhD with 10 years of experience, and you are just a freshman, you just finished, you graduate, and you have just a bachelor degree for accounting, and you are a veteran, they will hire a veteran, they don't care about any other person. Because you meet the minimum and you are a veteran, and that is the government.
Oh, wow.
That's why it is easier to get a federal job, because you get extra points. And the day you die, the U.S. president will write a letter to say thank you for your service to your parents, and they will put the military procession and explode all this everything that the foreign soldier. Me from Kigoma, they put the flag down and they put the national anthem. What else do I need on this planet Earth?
Age limit. I don't know if you have mentioned about that.
Yeah, I mentioned, but in a quick way. Each branch has a different age limit. Marines, is the 29. Navy and Army, 35. Air Force, I think they've increased to 37. Coast Guard, I do not know, but it will be around the 35 like Navy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So for me, I can't even join anything. I'm almost 40.
Yeah, you can't. You can join the federal government, most of the federal government, yeah. And just to say, why I'm talking about federal government, if you work for 20 years in the federal government, either it's a post office, whether it's on Amtrak, is a federal government. If you work for 20 years and you say, I'm done, you'll be paid 50% of your salary, the salary you ended with, until the day you go on the grave.
Let me ask you, EBM, real quick, because you know, here in this country, as you said, to be a green card or a citizen for you to join the military. But I think in the UK, in Britain or other countries, do you have any other country that you can join when you're abroad, like the UK? No. Do you know how?
You can't.
I believe you can. I believe in UK you can join when you're not a UK citizen.
I mean, permanent resident of UK, yes.
I don't know, maybe they have changed, but back many years ago, there's a time I tried. I actually tried. One time I visited the UK and I tried to join, and they were people who are like, as soon as you land, even if you're on a visitor visa, they would take
Yes, it's just like, that is a special program, but it's not part of every day. It's just like a monthly program in the US. Because of these wars in Afghanistan, Iraq, all those kind of things, so they allowed international students, a tourist visa, if you're in the country, you don't have any crime, to join. So there are certain programs of that nature, but it's not like in a normal way. That's why, for instance, in the US, last time was 2016 to allow 2015 to be exact. 2016 already was closed. Yeah. So they allow even international student to join. The only people who are not allowed if you are here is a diplomat. You cannot, or a son or daughter of a diplomat, you're not allowed. But if you are coming here, just any type of visa, you're allowed to join yeah. I have my classmate from Kigoma in Tanzania. Is a special force in the British Army. Yeah, so it is very interesting. Yeah.
So how long were you in the Navy for?
So first of all, unlike the military in our countries, where you just join, there is a federal job, you stay there until you become old. Here is a contract. Most of the jobs, because within a branch, there are different assignments. So most of the assignments is the first 4 years contract. After that, if you want to get out, you can get out. If you want to continue, they provide a contract, maybe 2 more years, or 3 more years, or 4 more years. Then you sign a contract. Again, depending on demand, sometimes when you go to, say, enlistment, they give a bonus. They can say, if you join, you add 4 years, there is $20,000 cash here. Or $50,000 cash. Like if you are a Navy SEAL, we have $100,000 because it is so expensive to start training another person. So for me, I was there for about 2 years instead of 4 years. There are some medical situations, especially for my family, which they allowed me to either continue or get out, so that I can be. My wife had a couple, like 2 in a row miscarriage and other things. So I was allowed to leave before 4 years, but I still get all the benefits. With exception on the education, I don't get 100%, I get 80%. That is the only thing. Okay. But the rest of the thing is the same. And from the day of the Valentine on February 14, 2014, until the day I'm going to the grave, the US government is paying me $133 until I die each month for the disability.
Oh, okay. Let me ask you, the medical insurance, did it continue when you leave the army? Maybe you mentioned I didn't.
No, it's not a medical insurance per se, but there are certain VA hospitals you are allowed to go, and there are certain way you have to register, and there are certain treatment you can get for free. There are certain so there are certain way you are covered under the VA, Veteran Affairs. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Someone said, true, I live in Kenya, and they sent me British medical screening sponsor something.
Okay. And sponsor lazima awe Mwingereza au sponsor anakuwa ni mtu gani? Kwa sababu lazima awepo mtu ambaye there must be someone who has to sponsor you, just like to voucher you that this person I know, like just to give a recommendation, but is it the person supposed to be a British or like someone with a citizen of Britain or anybody? I don't know.
Okay. So in the army, like as an African, you have an accent, and obviously you are
okay.
From the village of Kibama here, you are American. How was it?
There are a couple of things. Number one, the experiences is varied person to person. But number one, for me, I was already older. I was almost 30 years old joining the military. Remember, enlisted, the majority of them, they are 17, 18 years old. The maximum person is maybe 20. But most of them, they are 17, 18. They just finished high school. Most of them. That's number one.
And you don't have anything in common with these people because they are young.
Me, for the age, I'm 30. And the 30 African is just about like a 15 mindset more than, because you have gone through a lot. So that's number one. Number two, these are high school. I have master's degree. So you are vastly different. Majority of these one are single. And they're just going to party and whatever. I have a wife, I have a child. So there are so many things not common with these people. But when it comes to the training, you have to compete like normal. You do everything like as a team. But the bigger challenge I can simply say, on the training, first of all, as African, there are so many things you do not know about American culture, and plus American military culture, because there are American culture and there is a military culture. So, for instance, using F word, cussing to you, that is just like you say, hi, cheese. For them, is a normal thing. And if you don't say those words,
they'll be like, F this, F that,
if you don't use the F word, you look like you are not military enough. So, especially these kids have to be, technically, in the mindset, they get forced to, any sentence they say, they have like 5 F bombs coming to you. But for you, coming from, for me, I grew up, I've never used that way. And with education and everything, I don't use that way. So that is a big challenge or big change for one way. For me, until I finished in the military, I told no one can ever say that way towards me because it will be a big problem. So because I'm not from that background, that's number one. Another challenge, which was for me, many people didn't know my education because I had to pretend that I don't have master's degree. But the mistake they happened, like they went to do a Google search, or they went, some of them, they went like officers, they went like to look like, who is this guy on the profile, like on my file? They found this guy has a master's degree, this person has done this, has taught at the university level. Man, so like the challenge is if you give even a suggestion on something, someone is thinking that you are challenging them because you are educated enough. So those were some of the challenges on my end, I can simply say. Then another challenge is when you go for deployment, usually you have to go with the 2 people. You cannot go alone. You arrive in maybe Japan or Australia or another country. If you want to go outside, you have to sign with a buddy, a friend to go out. So all the time you have to be together just for accountability purposes. Because majority of them, they go there, they get drunk. So sometimes if you don't have a good person, it's better to stay inside because otherwise you go to the bar and have troubles. So the good thing, I had a friend of mine who is Nigerian. So I was 3 years older than him, but because he's from Africa, we can connect, and he's older enough. He had a bachelor degree, he was doing his master's. So that's the only time we have to go with that guy out. If he doesn't go, I don't go. If I don't go, he doesn't go. So it's just we have to find different ways on how to be able to be in a safe way. But there is a respect, because that is the military in the end, because there are certain times if someone crosses the line, it can cause some problems. Someone can even be court-martial if you use any word towards a black person. So for me, there was no discrimination in the military per se. Nothing. Because we are all treated like we are all buddies, we are dependent on one another, our life. So there was no discrimination on my end. But all in all, just like connecting for me, there are certain those kind of connection. Like what do we do? What do we do?
Even the racism stuff like that.
Yeah, there are no, for me, like I didn't hang out a lot with the military person because their stories are different from mine. There stories there about like you are 19 years old, the jobless, go to the bar, drink, find girls, whatever. For me, I'm just like, I want to chill, I want to communicate with my family or to do something. So we had so many things different. So it is difficult to connect. But when it comes to like, we have to go to train, you all connect because that is a responsibility. That is all do the same training, the same procedures.
Okay.
The good thing is this way. In the basic training, I've never seen any African who has failed the basic training, because the life in Africa is more than basic training. Because the military in America,
we are all armies in Africa. Mm-hmm.
The military in America has a syllabus. So it's different from like the military in Africa. You do something, someone is coming here, kneel down and is taking a stroke. If a person touches you this way, that officer will be fired from the military. Mm-hmm. So they cannot do that. But those people who are training you, they were taken to the special training to break you down completely just by using words. They can come to you, you think that the world is over, but they're not talking about you. So if you go there already, what word will you say to me which will be so bad? I've been told bad words by my parents, by your teachers, and they give you a stick on top of that. And you're just saying the words? I need to have 6 more weeks to graduate, or 8 weeks to graduate. So I don't care what you say to me. And those words which they're telling you is nothing personal about you. They will tell you the same thing to another person coming next day. So those words mean nothing. So you have to go with the mindset that if they tell me anything, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, they come here, get out. Don't put those things personal. You are there, you remember, why are you there? For me, to fail the boot camp, that means I failed to get a house. I failed to get the VM loan. I failed, so failure was not an option.
There was not, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the only challenge for African, black even in America, but for African in particular, is swimming. You're in the Navy. If you join the Navy, you know there is a swimming part. That is a big challenge. The swimming in the military, let me give you these funny stories a little bit. When you go to read online, you are going for them to enroll you, to enlist you, they'll tell you, oh, don't worry if you do not know how to swim. They'll teach you at the boot camp. Yes, they'll teach you, but they're not teaching you like buddies. They teach you in a military way. So, for me, when I already signed in the Navy, so obviously I've been to the lake, ocean, whatever, but not like swimming per se, because my hometown, Kigoma, we have Lake Tanganyika, the deepest lake in Africa. So you cannot just go and take it off. So that was a challenge. So I've been like swimming like kind of like at the end age. So when I signed in the Navy, it was in April 2012. So I got a job to teach Navy SEAL Swahili language before I go into the military. So at that time, I had to find an apartment which has swimming pool. I started learning how to swim. So the pool was big enough. So for me, my mind, if I go up to the end and I come back, this will be the pool for the military, the boot camp. Because they say it is Olympic-sized pool. The Olympic-sized pool, I've never been to Olympic. So the only time I see the Olympic pool is when Michael Phelps is swimming in the pool in the Olympic. And it looks so small because that guy is so fast. 10 seconds is there, 10 seconds is back. So for me, I said, oh, I can do that. So the day you arrive in the boot camp, you arrive in the evening, you don't sleep the entire night. You don't sleep. So it's yelling, wearing the shoes, blah, 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 blah. You finish in the morning, the first thing, they shave your head off completely. 1 minute maximum, they finish shaving. Then breakfast, then they took us to the pool, swimming pool. When I saw the Olympic-sized pool, there was no way in this world I would be able to swim in that pool. It is the football field at the beginning of the goal up to the end of the goal. It was no joke. It is so huge. And that is okay. The second part, usually when you swim, there is most of the pools, they're just like 5 feet, you can put your head up. That pool was 20 feet down going there. So there was no way I can stand on the pool. The last end of the pool was 6 feet. I'm 5'6". Even at the end, the water is above me. So you see that another thing. And that is not the worst. The worst part is they say we are training you to be in the ship. So you have to jump from 25, 30 feet up, from the up to jump into the water to take it off. So there was no way. When I saw that pool, I said, I'm not going to jump in that pool. So I say they call kids pool the training pool. The training pool was bigger than the pool I trained at home. So, and then they have to teach you, but it's yelling, it's a military teaching. Yeah, so, and there is a proper way. One day, I took my courage, I did everything, I swam, but not a proper way. So, for me, I was able to hold the breath for a longer time because I can sit in the pool for a minute without breathing. So I was able, because there is a way they do this way, it's very easy to look like. But for me, I swim under the water. I come up once, like submarine, go down, boom, up, down, boom, like under the water. I'm about to finish there. I'm happy I passed. The guy said to me, no, you failed. I said, what was the instruction? To go from the pool, begin up to the end. I said, no, they called you African submarine. So, and we are not doing it with submarine here. So they say you have to train to swim back way. Man, it took longer to trust, when you are older. So for me, what I advise people is make sure that you know how to swim before you go to the boot camp. The day I passed the swimming was the last day, like tomorrow is graduation. So, and the reason was I called him, I made a call to my wife that day. I said, we are already at the airport with my father-in-law, my wife and my father-in-law and Benedict, that we are coming for graduation. Graduation is tomorrow. And I haven't passed yet. If I don't pass that night, I don't pass that day, I'm not graduating. So I had to pass. So that day I had to do whatever it takes until I passed. Then you go for the last test, the whole night, until morning you haven't slept. In the morning, then is when I graduated. But it's just unnecessary pressure. You can remove that because no African or African has ever failed in running. All were the best runners. But when it comes to swim, out of 100 people who are supposed to be taught to swim, 99 were black and 1 is white. And that white person grew up in a black neighborhood. So for me, the biggest challenge for me was swimming, like in the boot camp. Out of that, the boot camp was easy. Because in the Navy is different from Army, different from Marines. Marine, yes, there are so many heavy duty. Navy is more about mental, is more about attention to the detail. So for instance, you can supposed to wear the uniform. You can take the extra of wearing the uniform over 5 hours. You wear the uniform. If one of you made a wrong button, like whatever, you start over. So it's just about repetition. Make sure that you take attention even to a single item. If you made one mistake, the entire people are getting punished. If you have 50 people, you're going to do the same thing over and over. So Navy is about that, different from going with the rifle and all those kind of marine heavy duty stuff. So for me, if you're an immigrant, you want to have good, just join Navy or Air Force. It's the easiest branches than any other branches. And yes, you are serving the country, but deployment of Navy is different from deployment of Army. Army, Marine are going to Afghanistan. For me, I deployed to go to Australia. I deployed to go to Japan, in a country where US has a contract with that country, our ship to go there. So there is no war you can go. So, and you are supporting. If the war comes, you'll be in another country and you throw the missile in another country. So you are not in that country at all. So for me, my wife, there is a call coming, there is a missed call, she will not worry that maybe I broke my finger or my hand because of the war, different from Marine or Army where they are in the front line and doing greater job than normal Navy or Air Force.
Okay. Wow, thank you so much for that. I'm just wowed by that. your motivation and your determination. You're so determined. You're like you're not anywhere like for failure. You're not setting up yourself up for failure. You were determined and you're a go-getter. Somebody was asking about joining from Commonwealth countries, stuff like that.
In England, it might be different. As I said, usually there are special programs, but in the US, you must be in the US as a green card holder. There is no exception. Because first of all, you have to go to a recruiter to process you. You must have a social security number. You must have a green card. They have to process that. Then you can do the test, and then to start the process.
Okay, and then somebody is asking, do they give a chance to pursue other courses like nursing?
So first off, there are two things. While you're in the military, there is different jobs you can choose. There is a job, not a nurse, they call Navy corpsman, for instance. So those one, like, they are the nurses in the ship. So you go get training like a nurse, but not a full nurse. So advantage of that, if you want to become a nurse after, if you finish that one, you get out, you already started the 3rd year and the 4th year, you finish nursing degree, you don't need to start from the beginning, and you have good work experience. But if you let's say you are in another work, not as a corpsman, but you want to study nursing as a degree, you have your military benefit. Use your military benefit. Study any course you want. They don't care. That's your money. That's your benefit. They don't choose any course for you. You choose what you want. It's your benefit.
So would you recommend? Would you advise somebody coming from Africa to join if they are young, to join the military once they get here?
100%. Like myself, I feel bad because I knew that one 4 years later. I came 2008. I came to know almost end of 2011 going to 2012. That's I know there is something called in military. These are the benefits. But if I was coming today and with this information, from the first week, I will join the first week.
Yeah. So if somebody comes here with a green card, there's no need of wasting time. It's better for them to just, if they are young and even if they have family, they go ahead and...
If you have family, more money, because you get your family and the family gets the money too. So, for me, it's the best thing to do. Like the guy who is from Ghana arrived within the first 14 days, he has already enrolled to the military. That's what we want, the spirit of that nature.
That is, and if they have family, they had family. Let me ask you: if you become a U.S. citizen, the kids as well, if they are under the age of 18, automatically they become a citizen as well, right?
No, they don't. The kids, if they're under the age of 18, they will wait until 18 or 21 to make the decision. If they want to be on their own as adult, they will make that decision. You cannot make the decision for them. Yeah, the only way they can become a citizen is if they are born here. Or if they're born outside, you are a U.S. citizen, they will be a U.S. citizen. But if they came here as a green card holder, they have to wait until 18 to make that decision if they want to become a citizen.
So for if they are like your children, if you had them and you became a U.S. citizen, then you have to file for them, or
they automatically when they become 18, they will be automatically allowed on their own to apply because they've been a green card holder for over 5 years. But
even if they don't take the oath, you cannot. I know they can't take the oath, obviously, but they can. What I'm asking is, yes, they can't take the oath and say, yeah, they can become a U.S. citizen. But the thing is, can they get the U.S. passport?
No, they cannot until they are 18 and they decided to choose that to become a U.S. citizen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That
anyway.
But once you become a citizen right away, like the guy from Ghana, he can sponsor the parents, he can sponsor the brothers, the siblings. So right away you can start with those processes. So you're in the right track. And instead of starting going to work, yes, you can work for the warehouse while you are waiting to go to the boot camp, but from day one you have a very good job. And
if you have a spouse and you get married, you marry somebody who is not in the army. You like for you, if you are single, then you get married. Is it easier? Is it an easy process, or it's gonna be the same process as everybody else? Like getting your wife get the citizenship through you, like.
So to get a green card is easier, just like any other American.
Yeah.
But to become a U.S. citizen has to wait for 3 years because of marriage.
Yeah, I was. What I'm asking is, some people say if you're in the military, you get married, then the process, like the filing process for the green card for your spouse, is easier. Is it the same as everybody else?
It's the same as everybody is. But usually when they see this guy is the military, what if he's going for deployment, whatever? So they might, just like because it's a patriotic country, they do a paperwork faster. But there is no different paperwork. Just like when I applied for my first passport, because my citizenship certificate, I have because I was in boot camp, so I have the military uniform, and over there. So even on the line, don't say on the line, everything went faster, and even like I didn't pay extra, but they did it as express. Yeah, so they can do because they see, oh, this guy is already in the military. Let's do quick, kind of that.
Quickly for the
but it's the same form, some everything. But if you get the citizenship while you are in the boot camp, process is different, because I didn't fill any of the form like I want to become a citizen or have to pay this amount of money. I didn't do that because I was already in the boot camp.
Okay, I don't want to keep you for long, EBM, because I know we have Halloween for the kids later tonight. What time is it? It's 3 p.m. here.
5:19 here.
Oh, guys, you can see the time difference in different states. EBM is 2 hours ahead of me, and other states as well. And here in Arizona, the sun is still out. Anyway, thank you so much, EBM, for sharing. And obviously, I'll bring you here again. I'm not tired of you. I will bring you here back again for more information. And if you have more questions, you can go ahead and ask, and I will bring EBM back to talk to us more about the military. And he writes books. You can check him out on his YouTube channel, and he has amazing green card information and books and whatever, everything there. So check him out and subscribe. Oh, ABM, I'm telling people to subscribe. You are at 80,000 subscribers. But obviously there's somebody here maybe who doesn't know you. We have visitors every day.
Yes.
And check ABM out. And if you're watching, you haven't subscribed to my channel as well, you can go ahead and subscribe. And thank you so much, guys. Take care of yourselves. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Charles.